Well, up there's the sign saying PCT John Muir Trail intersection. And I'm not heading on the PCT now. I'm heading towards Mount Whitney on the John Muir Trail. The very big first challenge that we had, or I should say I had, was Whitney. I knew that I'd really want to do Whitney, and I'd met up with a guy who knew of another group that was going to be summiting Whitney on the day. So I went out to Cottonwood, the Cottonwood Ranger Station off of the John Muir Trail, met up with this group. And everyone at that point kind of know me as the snowshoe guy. Not a lot of people had snowshoes. And I had even said that, you know, with me, the snowshoes, I'd have no problem being the guy that's sort of breaking trail. What ended up happening that night before we summited was 6 inches of snow came down. We began hiking the next morning at 1:30 a.m. Myself and Zach Krahmer, Zach Limbo, were at the front, and I broke trail with the snowshoes for the group. It was about a group of 13 people, and luckily with the snowshoes I was able to plow a trail straight up this incline that was so steep. If it had been any more incline, I really don't think it would have been possible. It would have basically just been a wall at that point. The next part then is you get to the chutes, and the chutes are just sheer cliff drops right off the trail. And because of the snow, you had to feel your way for where the actual trail was and where it wasn't just powder leading down. And we went through that slowly but surely. And then once you get all the way through the chutes, you get to the final stretch where it's another steep hill leading up to the plateau. I was able just to muster another 30 minutes of strength to get up the hill. I did it. I made it to the top of Mount Whitney. Holy, thank you God. Probably the craziest, hardest. I just can't believe it. Yeah, we got up there and the whole group, we were all able to celebrate. You did it, man. It was a pretty great accomplishment. I definitely had a lot of emotion going on just because the amount of danger that was involved with it. That kind of was the punch in the mouth in terms of welcome to the Sierras. The terrain here is unforgiving and nature really doesn't care about, you know, what your plans are. Well, I'm back again at the John Muir Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail intersection. Mount Whitney and Crabtree Meadows completed. Now I'm on to Kearsarge Pass, 12.8 miles away. Slowly making my way up to the Oregon border. I wish I could adequately capture the beauty of this mountain. It's stunning. It looks twice as big in real life. I'm marching toward this thing. I have a feeling for the next month, me and that mountain are going to be pretty good friends. I'll be hiking up to the foot of it and all around it. It's going to be really interesting to stare at that thing for the next probably 20 days. More cool volcano stuff. Some big cracks here I'm crossing over. I may have picked a bad day to wear shorts because mosquitoes are crazy. I've resorted to drastic measures. I've got mosquito spray all over my body. It doesn't seem to help. The mosquitoes are biting through my clothing. They're also, a few of them have gotten up inside this netting on my face. I'm slowly losing my mind. The trail just keeps going and going and going. Look at this snowy abyss. Absolutely nuts. This looks surreal. Look at this.
Hat Creek Power Plant. I am approaching Hat Creek. There's some fishing going on here, and I just saw some fish jumping right there. So I decided to go ahead and take a tour of the Crystal Lake Hatchery. It's kind of a cool place right next to the PCT, and it's open to the public. You can just walk in there and take a look at the hatchery. They also have a restroom for you PCT hikers. It was started in 1953, and one of the biggest projects they have here is reviving the Eagle Lake rainbow trout. It was almost gone. They had, I believe, 12 of them. And they've totally brought it back, and it's a very special fish, only surviving in the Eagle Lake. So we are currently in the Crystal Lake Hatchery, and they said I could walk around and check things out. And look at these beautiful fish. Coming soon to a river near you. Just tons of them. It's like a zoo for fish. You know, that one's like half and half. Like half albino, and look at that, it's so crazy. I've never seen one like that. There's the albino gold one, right? It's an albino rainbow trout, what that is. That yellow guy there. And this is two of them. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's a really cool place. I highly recommend you add it to your itinerary. Beautiful mountain pond. Looks like there's a pelican out there and a whole bunch of ducks and possibly some Canada geese. Kind of cool. And I'm almost done hiking today. Heading up this way.
This is Tyndall Creek, and this is where I'm camping tonight before making the push up to Forreston. This might be that right there. The highest point on the Pacific Crest Trail. Woo! That's where we're going. Yep. Oh, sorry. Hey everybody, here at Forrester Pass. This is where I've been on PCT, tallest point. More stuff to come. Top of Forrester, top of the PCT, on to lower and better things. You can see the top of Forrester up there. stuff. Just another day of walking on the PCT. Yeah, they're decent views, I guess. Pretty decent views. Look how tall these mountains are. Man, I wonder which one's the tallest. Oh yeah, that's right, I've climbed it.
Almost there, right? So here we are at Burney Creek, the source water of the Burney Falls, which I believe I am about to see. Under here, we got one of those cool tree things that tell you how old these trees are. You know, 1653. Roots, earthquake. Kind of cool. Been so hot all day. Finally got to the store and got an ice cream and a sandwich and a Gatorade and a Shasta Cola. All right, let's go see what these falls are all about. Everyone keeps top pinning up like it's the greatest thing on earth. I've seen a few waterfalls in my day. I'll be the judge. Well, from up here it's fairly impressive. I'll have to get down there and trail down so you can see it from below. That's pretty cool.
Well, I'm here at least what's part of the unthawed Bullfrog Lake, which I was really excited to fish because apparently they've got really, really beautiful brook trout in them. And I've never caught a brook trout. And so far looking at the lake, all I see are a bunch of dead brook trout. Must have been a real rough winter. Here, see if I can't even see it the camera, but there's just a ton of dead fish in the water. I don't know if you can see it, but I literally just watched for the first time in my life an avalanche. Came down. So, I hope I'm good. I'm excited to go into Independence tomorrow. I'm not going to go to Bishop. And so that'll be a Nero. And then I'm going to take a well-deserved zero the next day because I'm totally smoked from Whitney and Forster. All right, guys. Well, so I've officially made it back over Kearsarge Pass. On my way now, just a few miles from meeting back up with the Pacific Crest Trail. That's a smoker. The fact that we had to do Kearsarge twice if you want any realistic resupply is pretty nuts. I want to thank the local mule deer for setting footholds for me that I was able to use early in the day to get up the really steep stuff. I'd also like to make a shout out to John Muir for writing books that I can listen to on audiobook that while I'm absolutely just entrenched in Sierra warfare, it's still actually making me appreciate the beauty of being out here. Not gonna lie, hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, this year, and especially now being the Sierras, it feels less like a backpacking trip and a lot more like a heavyweight championship boxing match with the full 15 rounds. The Whitney and Forester, and then Kearsarge, and then knowing you have to do Kearsarge twice, it's been the PCT sort of brawl in the mid rounds. You know, it gets you with a right hook that just totally knocks you down, has your mouthpiece go onto the ground, and kind of the PCT looking at you like, oh yeah, fight's over, which it is for a lot of people. A lot of people, you know, they're calling it quits here, and for understandable reasons. But not gonna lie, getting back over Kearsarge Pass, it feels like the fighter that gets up from the ground, picks up the mouthpiece, brushes it off on the shirt, spits out a little blood, and gives the PCT a little, come on, let's do this again. So Mike Tyson at Buster Douglas, PCT, you got me. All right, guys.